My favorite OG, like. You can send it with just a tap. It appears as a looping video right inside the transcript. If we're really lucky for our grand finale, we might just get a response back from Tim. Oh, here it is. Let's take a look.
Take me to your leader. Wait a minute, Craig. I am your leader. Let's wrap this thing up.
So that is your first look at the new iPhone 10 and the amazing experience with the True Depth camera and Animoji. I think you're going to love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Craig. Now let's talk about the amazing cameras in iPhone 10. iPhone 10 has dual 12 megapixel sensors, dual cameras, both a faster sensors, wider sensors, just like in iPhone 8. There's new color filters, new deeper pixels. There's an f1.8 aperture on the wide-angle camera and a faster f2.4 aperture on the telephoto. So that lets in 36% more light to the telephoto camera. But the big news on the camera in the iPhone 10 is that it has dual optical image stabilization. That means there's OIS on both the wide angle and the telephoto lens. That's a lot of magnets moving around in a very small space, but it helps with compensating for handshake and to take better photos and videos in low light. There's also a better quad LED two-tone flash that has twice the uniformity of light on our subjects. So let's look at some photos taken from the backside camera on iPhone 10. This is absolutely beautiful. Great dynamic range, detail, low noise. This is a beautiful photo. The textures are simply stunning. Now there's zero shutter lag, and that helps to freeze motion so we can get a photo like this. Look at that blue sky with low noise. It's absolutely to die for. The OIS delivers low light performance, so now you can get incredible low light images like this with the telephoto camera as well as the wide angle. And iPhone 10 is fantastic for the portrait mode feature that we all love. In iPhone 10, you can get great portrait modes, especially in lower light. And iPhone 10 supports the brand new portrait lighting feature as well. That's, again, a photo taken right off of iPhone 10, not retouched in any way, with a stage lighting effect dropping out the background. iPhone 10 is great for photos. It's amazing for 4K video. And, like iPhone 8, it's tuned for AR applications. There's factory-calibrated cameras, the new gyroscope, accelerometer, the performance advantages of the A11 Bionic chips CPU, GPU, and ISP, and ARKit is tuned for iPhone 10. Now, the backside camera that we use so much is not the only camera, of course, on the iPhone. We have our front side camera as well, and people love to use those for taking selfie photographs. And now with iPhone 10 and its True Depth camera, it really delivers a breakthrough in the photos you can take for selfies. Because now with selfies, you can take portrait mode photos as well. And it also supports portrait lighting, all through the front side True Depth camera. And people are going to be blown away with the selfies you can take with the iPhone 10. This is absolutely beautiful. Of course, everything we've seen is powered in iPhone 10 by the amazing new A11 Bionic chip. We talked all about an iPhone 8, but it's worth hitting on the highlights again because there has never been anything like it. A 64-bit, 6-core design, 4.3 billion transistors, 2 high-performance cores, 4 high-efficiency cores, our new second-generation performance controller that uses all 6 cores at once, our first Apple-designed graphics processing unit, the brand new ISP that improves autofocus, the video encoder that does real-time motion analysis while you're shooting video, the neural engine, and of course, the secure enclave to protect our Face ID data. All this performance, I'm sure, as you expect, does come with a hit to battery life. So I think it's important to tell you that we've increased it. Yes, at last. Yes. Again, hardware and software teams work really hard to deliver 2 more hours of all-day battery life to us. So, wireless. Just like iPhone 8, iPhone 10 is also built for a wireless world. It is Qi charging through the glass back, and it will work with the Qi charging devices, like the ones we mentioned earlier from Mophie and Belkin. It'll also work with third-party Qi devices that are Qi certified. And there are a lot of great devices that are going to start to come to market, particularly because of iPhone 8 and iPhone 10. But we also think we can make the wireless charging experience even better. So our team wants to create something I think all of us are going to want to use, and it might actually help move the entire industry forward. So we're going to give you a sneak peek of this idea right now. I'm sure many of you do this. I do this. I have a lot of Apple products. I love them. I use them all day long. I charge them at night. You plug in your cables. You plug in your chargers. You take those cables and chargers with you on the road when you travel. Well, we think we have an idea of how to make this a better experience. And here it is. It's a mat that you place your iPhone 8 or iPhone 10 down, and it just starts to charge. And there's a beautiful new interface. It doesn't stop there. You can place your Series 3 Apple Watch down on it, and it starts to charge as well. And you can place your AirPods with the optional new wireless charging case on it, and it starts to charge as well. They all charge. This system has a great interface. They intelligently work together and communicate with each other to manage the charging through one more efficient charging system. This is not possible with current standards, but our team knows how to do this. We call it AirPower. We hope people love it, that it encourages others to create more advanced solutions based on technology like this. We're going to be working with the Qi Standards team to incorporate these benefits into the future of the standards to make wireless charging better for everyone. So look for the AirPower charger next year. So that is iPhone 10. It is the future of the smartphone. It is packed with many innovative features, huge list, we won't go through them all. They add up to a new, better experience. We're so excited about iPhone 10, we created a beautiful video to tell you all about it.
For more than a decade, our intention has been to create an iPhone that is all display. A physical object that disappears into the experience. This is iPhone 10. Developing the form and display together defines a whole new integration, making the boundary between the device and the screen hard to discern. The custom OLED panel was engineered to fold and seamlessly combine with the external surfaces. Mechanical buttons give way to touch and gestures. There's no home button. A single swipe takes you to the home screen. A more responsive touch system means the gestures in iOS 11 are more fluid. The polished stainless steel band reinforces the water-resistant all-glass design. This new glass formulation, the most durable ever in a smartphone, enables for the first time wireless charging. Our new True Depth camera system, contained within this tiny space, uses extraordinary depth sensing technology to let you unlock your phone with a glance. We call this Face ID. It maps the unique geometry of your face with over 30,000 invisible dots. This data is analyzed by the neural engine on the A11 Bionic chip, the first of its kind. Your iPhone now recognizes you, even in the dark, and will adapt to your physical changes. This makes your face your secure password. So with just a look, you can authenticate your phone or use Apple Pay. The True Depth camera also enables new experiences, like bringing emojis to life by mapping more than 50 facial muscles in real time, so you can be happy or sad or cross. Both the front and rear-facing cameras now have portrait mode, and for the first time you can actually define the light in a scene. Based on fundamental photographic principles, portrait lighting produces the effect of real studio lighting. On the back, the dual camera system is completely redesigned. It's made even smarter by the A11 Bionic chip. With machine learning, the camera detects elements in the scene to optimize the image before the photo is even taken. The camera we use every day now delivers so much more. And as iOS becomes the world's largest platform for augmented reality, it will redefine what's possible. This is iPhone 10.
The team works hard to make iPhone 8 and iPhone 10 in the most environmentally friendly manner possible. They have arsenic-free display glass, mercury-free displays. They're BFR-free, PVC-free, beryllium-free. They're now made with a low-carbon process for their aluminum design, and they're highly recyclable with their materials. I'm really proud of that list, so I like to say it every time. iPhone 10 also comes in two configurations, 64 gigs and 256 gigabytes. They'll be priced from $9.99. You can order it starting on October 27th, and they begin to ship on November 3rd. So this is the future of the smartphone shipping this year. So this is our lineup for the holidays. Now every year we say it's a great lineup for the holidays, and it is. But this year is really special. It starts with iPhone SE, iPhone 6S, iPhone 7, the new generation iPhone 8, and the futuristic iPhone 10. Ten years ago, when Steve introduced the world to iPhone, he closed with a quote from Wayne Gretzky. It said, "I skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it has been." Steve said that's what Apple does. We skate to where the puck is going to be. And that is what iPhone 10 is all about. Thank you. Back to you, Tim.
iPhone 10, this really is the future. We've made a great, fun new ad that I'd love to show it to you.
Every time you call on me, I drop what I do. You are my best friend and we've got some things to do.
That is iPhone 10. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So what a morning we've had. Apple Watch Series 3 with cellular, which gives you the freedom to go anywhere you want with or without your iPhone. Apple TV 4K brings the magic of the cinema straight to your living room with incredible 4K and HDR content. iPhone 8, a beautiful glass design, incredible cameras, wireless charging, A11 Bionic chip, and of course, powerful AR capabilities. We think you're going to love it. An iPhone 10, the most advanced iPhone we've ever made. The incredible new design, Face ID, true depth camera system, and more powerful technologies than we've ever put in an iPhone before. It really is the future of the smartphone. And we began this morning with some inspiring words from Steve. One of the ways that I believe people express their appreciation to the rest of humanity is to make something wonderful and put it out there. We work really hard at Apple to create wonderful things. And we hope you love what we've introduced today. I think Steve would be really proud of them. I'd like to thank everyone at Apple who made today possible. I'd like everybody in Apple to stand up that are here representing their teams from hardware and software and services. Please stand up in operations. Our amazing retail employees. And everyone that works so hard on this theater and on Apple Park. One of the great things about this theater is an unbelievable hands-on area. It is the most beautiful hands-on area we've ever had, by far. And I would encourage all of you to join us there and get your hands on these wonderful products. Thank you so much for spending the morning with us. Thank you.
Where I was like, listen, for $930, you can get a device that's 9/10 of the way there, maybe 9.5 of the way there in the Galaxy S8. And the question here, like in this particular scenario, it feels like there's more of a gap between the new iPhone 8 and the iPhone 10. Because you don't have the screen to body ratio that you get on the more expensive version. And there's certain aesthetic choices there that don't exist. You're kind of buying an old piece of hardware, at least from a design perspective, when you buy the iPhone 8.
And some people express their deep appreciation.
Now it's faster and so on.
In different ways.
But you're still holding on to something that's essentially the same as the old one.
But
so
one of the ways
a different approach in order to get that extra money out compared to Samsung.
To the rest of humanity,
I still don't think we're in a place
something wonderful
where
and put it out there.
Where $1,000 phone
and you never
is a possibility for everyone. That's just the truth of the matter. Granted,
you never hear their
in places
story
like
or tell
North
yours,
America,
but
where
somehow
many people have their
in the act of
devices
making
subsidized
something
by the
with a
contract
great
they
deal
sign,
of
they're not
care
paying
and love,
$1,000 up front.
something's
But if you do want to own your device and buy it outright, $1,000 is a big number. You know, it's especially when you consider what's happening around the $500 price point from alternative manufacturers. I've got to hold this thing in my hand. I've got to evaluate it. You know I'm going to do that, and you know I'm going to break it down for you. So as soon as this stuff is available, I'll be featuring.
साउंड कम करो।
A child, in my grandfather's house, they would show me one cow and it had a name, said, this is the cow whose milk you drink, this is your cow mother. And every day you're supposed to go and give her something. I was given a jaggery ball which I'm supposed to go and give it to her every day because she gives me milk. Between me and her, there is a very strong thing. And this is not a joke. This is not some emotional nonsense. Today we know by scientific studies that if you develop a deep relationship with the cow, its milk and you, there are various chemicals which come together and it nurtures you in a best possible way. There is substantial scientific evidence today in this direction. So we developed a huge relationship with the cow. After having drunk the milk of the cow for 5–10 years, she is old, cut her up and eat her is an unthinkable thing for us because she's like a mother. So from this context, we said killing a cow is not right. Another aspect of it is, if you have a cow at home, people have very deep relationships with the cows in India. Today maybe they've all become hybrid cows, you don't notice that. But in villages, when there are cows inside the house, people have a very strong relationship. When you have this, if you are going through some kind of misery, you will see the cow will shed tears. Actually it sheds tears. So because of this, because it has human emotion, if killing a cow and eating a cow is considered murder and cannibalism. Apart from that, today we are seeing that scientific evidence recently, 3 weeks ago it was on the Time magazine, but it's been all over the scientific this thing, they've been afraid to publish these things for quite long because of the meat lobbies in the world. After Dale Carnegie and others, they came up with this stuff and they said most of the heart ailments and heart attack deaths in America are because of beef eating. Now they're saying almost 70% of the cancer is because of red meat eating, okay? So every doctor in the West is telling people, you should not eat red meat, this is the worst thing, and it's an ecological disaster. Producing red meat, eating beef is an ecological disaster, both ways. One thing as a nation that we can be proud of is, though without any kind of infrastructure, without any kind of science or technology, our farmers have been producing food for over 1 billion people, which is no mean achievement. Their own conditions, we all know, is most pitiable, but they have produced food. I will tell you, pick an intelligent man here, an MBA. I will give him 10 acres of very fertile land. I will give him the best seed. Let him take a crop and give it to me, the first crop, let me see. He will see how complex it is. Now, there is a knowledge of agriculture with us for over 8–10,000 years in this country. It has just come down as a samskar, not as a technology, not as a teaching. Now, the land was rich. The reason why it was rich is we never killed the animals. Today, India is the largest exporter of beef. This is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. Somebody wants to eat something in this country, leave it. The wrong approach is just this. We should not definitely be a beef exporter because we will destroy the land. we will not be able to produce the food that we are producing right now. Unless we make it, I think the government should bring a policy for every acre of land, minimum 4 to 5 animals must be there. Otherwise, we will kill the soil, we will kill the future of this country. It is in that context we have to look at, not in terms of religion. If anybody wants to look at this carefully, we must understand the Hindu religion as we know it has no restriction about eating this or not eating this. It is just that it is a cultural emotion because we have seen the cow as a second mother because we drink the milk of the cow.
I was
Steve was a genius. And one of the many ways that he showed that
transmitted there
was in his uncanny ability
and
to unlock
it's
the
a way of
talent
expressing
everybody
to the
that he
rest of our species our deep appreciation. So we need to be true to who we are and remember what's really important to us. That's what's going to keep Apple, Apple, is if we keep us, us.
Steve's vision and passion live on here at Apple Park and everywhere. Today and always, we honor Thank you.
Dropping. Greatly relieved to speak with.
I love hearing his voice and his inspiring message. And it was only fitting. We're here today to talk about some incredible products. Before we get to that, I'd like to take a moment to talk about what's happening in Florida and Texas. It is the honor of a lifetime to be the first to welcome you to the Steve Jobs Theater. Our hearts go out to all of the people whose lives have been disrupted by Hurricane Steve meant so much to me and so much to all of us. We send you our strength. You're in our prayers. There's not a day that goes by. Apple is working closely with relief and recovery efforts. The memories have especially come rushing back. And in addition to Apple's direct contribution today, we're making it really simple for the entire Apple community. It's taken some time to donate via iTunes. We can now reflect the hand-in-hand benefit for hurricane relief instead of tonight on all of the major broadcast networks. I encourage you to watch it. And however you choose to give, I hope that you open your heart to this important effort. Thank you.
Neat. I want to go lead one of those.
We've just started.
Now, let me tell you a little bit about our new phone.
Just started. But the feedback has been fantastic.
Moving in Apple Park later this year.
Customers are telling us they love the role that Apple retail is playing in their community.
And the first big step is the opening today.
Well, we're going to continue to open Apple Town Squares in the top cities around the world. We're going to invest in online, and we're also going to continue to reinvest in our 400 classic locations, including Apple Fifth Avenue in New York City, where we're opening up the plaza to allow natural sunlight to come in into a greatly expanded space below. And you can see the glass cube will return when we open late next year.
environment for our teams to create and collaborate. The park itself.
And in Paris, we're restoring an entire historic building on the iconic Champs-Elysees. We're turning a 5-story atrium into our largest forum.
Green space with over 9,000
Early next year, we're transforming a theater beneath Piazza Liberty into a modern Baytown Square for Milan.
It's open, transparent.
Just imagine moving nice there next summer.
And connects everyone to the beautiful California landscape.
And we've recently announced an ambitious project to restore Carnegie Library in the heart of our nation's capital.
And in fact, we have one of the world's largest on-site solar installations right here. And just like everything we make, Apple Park has been designed with
and some people express their deep appreciation
precision
in different
really
ways.
Beautiful materials. We've got a great visitor center, which will be open later this year.
I believe people express their appreciation to
inside the visitor center, you'll find an incredible augmented reality experience. And you can learn more about Apple Park.
And you never meet the people.
And its innovations.
You never shake their hands.
You also find a fantastic
You never hear their story or tell yours, but somehow, in the act of making something with a great deal of care and love, something's transmitted there.
It's about learning.
You never hear their story or tell yours, but somehow it's a way of expressing making something with a great deal of care and love. Something's transmitted there.
To go just about learning.
You never hear their story or tell yours, but somehow it's a way of expressing making something with a great deal of care and love. Something's transmitted there.
To go just about learning.
You never hear their story or tell yours, but somehow it's a way of expressing making something something's transmitted there.
To go just about learning. I love hearing his voice and his inspiring message. And it was only fitting that Steve should open his voice and his inspiring message. And it was only fitting that Steve should. It is the honor of a lifetime to be the first to welcome you to the Steve Jobs Theater. Steve meant so much to me and so much to all of us. There's not a day that goes by that we don't think about him. Memories have especially come rushing back as we prepared for today and this event. It's taken some time, but we can now reflect on him with joy instead of sadness. Steve's spirit and timeless philosophy on life will always be the DNA of Apple. His greatest gift, his greatest expression of his appreciation for humanity would not be a singular product, but rather it would be Apple itself. We dedicate this theater to Steve because we loved him and because he loved days like this, where he could share our latest new products and new ideas with the world. And we do so not only to pay tribute to Steve, but to inspire the next generation of creators and innovators. Steve was a genius, and one of the many ways that he showed that was in his uncanny ability to unlock the talent of everybody that he worked with. He thought deeply about our workplace and its surroundings, and he believed that they should inspire talented people to do their best work.
I love hearing his voice.
Several decades ago,
His inspiring message.
he began to work
And it was only fitting
on a new
that Steve should.
His vision for Apple Park was to create
the honor of a lifetime
workplace of the future.
to be the first to introduce the Steve Jobs Theater. Steve meant so much to me and so much to all of us. There's not a day that goes by that we don't think about him. Memories have especially come rushing back as we prepared for today and this event. It's taken some time, but we can now reflect on him with joy.
We could all be together
Instead of sadness.
collaborating.
Steve's spirit and timeless philosophy on life will always be the DNA of Apple.
Steve's vision and his greatest gift, his greatest expression of his appreciation for humanity would not be a singular today, or rather it would be Apple itself. We dedicate this theater to Steve because we loved him and because he loved days like this, so he could share our latest new products and new ideas of the world. And we do so not only to contribute to Steve, we're here today to talk about
but to inspire the next generation.
Before we get to that,
creators and innovators.
I'd like to take a moment to talk
Steve
about
is a
what's
genius.
happening in Florida.
And one of the many ways that he showed that
Southeastern United States
was in his uncanny ability to unlock the talent of everybody that he worked with.
whose lives have been disrupted by
He thought deeply
Irma and Hurricane Harvey,
about our workplace and its surroundings,
and sends you our
and
strength.
he believed that they should inspire talented people to do their best.
Apple is working closely with relief and recovery efforts through Hand in Hand and the American Red Cross. And in addition to Apple's direct contributions, we're making it really simple for the entire Apple community to donate via iTunes and the App Store. The Hand in Hand benefit for hurricane relief airs tonight on all of the major broadcast networks. And I encourage you to watch it. And however you choose to give, I hope that you open your heart to this important effort. Thank you. Now, let me tell you a little bit about our new home. We'll start moving in Apple Park later this year. But of course, such a large move is really more of a process. And the first big step is the opening today of the Steve Jobs Theater. It's the most state-of-the-art, purpose-built theater ever, built for events just like this one. Apple Park has been built to reflect Apple's values for both technology and the environment. It connects extraordinarily advanced buildings with a rolling parkland to form an open and inspiring environment for our teams to create and collaborate. The park itself was converted from a sea of asphalt into a 175-acre green space with over 9,000 trees. Apple Park is designed to be seamless with nature. It's open, transparent. It brings the outside